Oh, you thought the internet was done dragging Chrisean rock? Think again, because this time, she might have just hit a new level of what were you thinking? The drama magnet of hip-hop herself is back in the headlines after fans claim she left. Baby Jr. all alone on livestream just to argue with people online. Yeah, you heard that right. Not backstage at a show, not during a photo shoot on live, and the footage. It's spreading faster than a Zeus Network rumor. 1 second she's talking wild, the next, boom, Baby Jr's just there, alone. The internet lost its mind instantly. Some called it neglect. Others said it was peak Chrisean behavior. And a few straight-up said CPS needs Wi-Fi at this point. This isn't just messy, this is career suicide with a camera filter. Because what was supposed to be another chaotic real moment turned into one of the most uncomfortable streams of the year. The same fans who once defended her through every Blueface meltdown are now saying, "We're done." And when your own supporters switch sides, oh baby, that's when the internet smells blood. It all started like a regular Chrisean rock live loud music, chaotic energy, and a flood of comments moving faster than a DJ Khaled ad-lib. She was vibing, laughing, clapping back at trolls. Basically doing what she always does, turning her phone into her personal reality show. But this time, it wasn't funny because while Chrisean was busy arguing with random people in her comments section, fans noticed something that made their jaws drop. Baby Jr., her infant son, sitting completely alone. The camera caught glimpses of him off to the side, restless, unattended. And that's when the internet went into full meltdown mode. You could almost feel the collective gasp. "Where's Chrisean?" One viewer wrote. Another said, "Please tell me she didn't just walk off." But she did. She actually left the frame still talking smack to people off camera while her baby sat there. The star of a live stream nobody wanted to see within minutes. Screen recordings flooded X, formerly Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, you name it. The clips spread like wildfire. Every gossip blog from Hollywood Unlocked to No Jumper had their captions locked and loaded. Chrisean rock caught leaving her baby alone during live. The internet thrives on chaos, but this wasn't entertainment anymore. It was uncomfortable. People weren't laughing this time. They were fuming. "This is not motherhood," one comment read. Another said she's treating parenting like content. And honestly, they weren't wrong, because Chrisean wasn't just distracted. She was performing. She was mid-argument with a fan, shouting over comments, calling out haters, while Baby Jr. was just ... there, silent, innocent, uninvolved completely. Overshadowed by her need to clap back, it was like watching a modern-day Greek tragedy unfold on Instagram Live, except instead of gods and monsters, it was likes and followers. Now, this isn't the first time Chrisean's live streams have caused outrage. She's been the queen of unfiltered since day one. From crying over Blueface on camera to throwing chairs in interviews, she's built a career on chaos. Fans used to love her because she was raw, real, unpolished, the anti-Hollywood prototype. But now, that realness is starting to look a lot more like recklessness, and people are noticing. One viral tweet said it best. "There's a difference between being real and being irresponsible." Chrisean doesn't know the difference. The irony. This all happened during a stream she probably thought would make her look relatable. A peek into her daily life, a moment to show she's handling motherhood her way. But instead, it backfired spectacularly. Because when it comes to motherhood, the internet doesn't forgive easily, especially not when there's video evidence by the next morning. It was trending in all the worst ways. Hashtags like #ProtectBabyJR and #Chrisean Cancel Party dominated the timeline. TikTok detectives slowed the footage down, analyzed every second like it was the Zapruder film. "Look, you can see her walk out of frame right here," one said. The baby turns his head, he's looking for her. It was pure digital devastation. The public reaction was instant and brutal. Former fans who once called her a strong mama were now turning on her with full force. "We defended you through everything. One heartbroken comment read, "But this is too far." Even her celebrity supporters started going quiet. No one wanted to be associated with the storm she just unleashed. Because this wasn't just bad optics, it was PR poison. The internet doesn't just cancel you for being messy anymore. They cancel you for being a bad parent, and Chrisean. She played right into their hands. When the backlash started building, instead of logging off or apologizing, she clapped back. She posted stories mocking her critics, saying, "Y'all weird? My baby's good. Worry about your own kids?" She laughed it off like the internet wasn't collectively writing her obituary in real time, but that response only made things worse. Fans interpreted it as arrogance. If she can't even take this seriously, she doesn't deserve the platform. One comment read. Others started calling for intervention, not just cancellation, but investigation. That's when things got dark. Threads popped up speculating whether Child Protective Services might get involved. People started tagging parenting advocates, journalists, even government agencies. It was no longer about clout. People were genuinely concerned for baby Junior. "We don't hate her." One user wrote, "We're scared for that baby." The energy shifted. What started as entertainment had turned into genuine public worry. And once people start believing your chaos is harming a child, that's when your reputation stops being salvageable. But in true Chrisean Rock fashion, she doubled down again. She went live the next day, laughing, saying, "Y'all doing too much. Ain't nobody neglecting my baby. He was right there. He fine." Except that's exactly what made people lose it even more. Because to the internet, that was the problem. The lack of awareness. The casual attitude. The refusal to take accountability. Commenters went wild. "She's gaslighting the internet. She's defending herself instead of learning. It's more addicted to being right than being a mom." And whether or not that's fair, perception is everything. And perception just crowned her the internet's least self-aware celebrity mom. The memes were ruthless. Someone edited her live into a fake movie trailer titled "Gone in 60 Seconds, the Baby Edition." Another said, "She left baby Junior like Blueface left the relationship unattended and confused." It was dark humor, sure, but it spread like wildfire by now. The outrage wasn't just online gossip. It was news. Major platforms picked it up. Headlines like "Chrisean Rock under fire for allegedly leaving her baby alone on stream" were everywhere. Morning talk shows debated it. Podcasts called it the saddest moment of the influencer era. And the worst part? Every time she tried to defend herself, the internet found new angles to attack her. If you're innocent, why are you laughing? If you care, why are you still live? It didn't matter what she said, the narrative had already been written. Because when you've built your entire brand on chaos, people assume every mess you're in is self-inflicted. And this one, it wasn't just a mess, it was a cultural flashpoint. This wasn't Chrisean Rock, the reality star. This was Chrisean Rock, the cautionary tale. It was the moment fans started saying enough. And while she was busy fighting strangers on Instagram, the internet had already made up its mind. The free pass era was over. For the first time in her career, people weren't laughing with her. They were horrified by her. And that's when the story stopped being about one live stream and started being about who Chrisean Rock really is when the cameras are off. Because if this is what the world sees online, what's happening behind the screen? The internet wasn't just disgusted, it was disturbed. And that's when the real storm began. By the next day, the internet wasn't just whispering, it was roaring. Chrisean Rock had officially become public enemy #1 on every platform from TikTok to YouTube. You couldn't scroll for 5 seconds without seeing a video titled "The Chrisean Rock Baby Junior Stream. What Really Happened?" Every influencer, commentator, and podcast host jumped on the story like vultures on a trending hashtag. People were reposting slowed down clips, zoomed in screenshots, and even conspiracy-level breakdowns with dramatic music. One TikTok said, "Watch closely, you can see her step away for a full 45 seconds." Another video had red circles and arrows pointing to every detail. Captioned, "She wasn't even paying attention." It looked less like social media and more like a true crime investigation. Within 24 hours, Chrisean's name had climbed to the top of the trending charts, not because of a song, not because of a fight, but because of neglect allegations. And that's when the internet split in half. On one side were the defenders, diehard Chrisean fans, who swore she was just being a normal, overwhelmed mom. They claimed the video was taken out of context, that she was just grabbing something off camera. On the other side, the disgusted masses calling her careless, immature, and unfit. Context or not. "You don't leave a baby alone for the internet," one user wrote. Another said, "That baby deserves peace, not clout." The moral outrage was reaching Olympic levels. Twitter threads were turning into digital sermons. People were using phrases like accountability, child endangerment, and social media addiction. It stopped being about one live stream and turned into a global debate about influencer parenting. Then came the celebrity reactions, and that's when things went nuclear. Reality TV personalities, fellow rappers, and influencers all started chiming in. Natalie Nunn, never one to miss a moment, jumped on her live saying, "That baby didn't sign up for none of this. We all love Chrisean, but sis needs help." Even Tokyo Tony threw in her 2 cents, saying they all need to take them phones and throw them in the ocean. But the reaction that shook everyone came from Blueface's mom, Carlissa Saffold, the internet's self-appointed chaos queen. She posted a video saying, "See? I told y'all she wasn't ready. Y'all called me crazy, but now look. It's petty. It was messy, and it was classic Carlissa." Her comments exploded with laughing emojis, snake emojis, and people saying, "Not Carlissa getting the last word." But while the internet was laughing, Chrisean was spiraling. She went live again, of course, to clear the air. But instead of calming things down, she poured gasoline on the fire. "Y'all so weird. My baby's good. Stop making up stories," she said, rolling her eyes, scrolling through comments like nothing was wrong. You could almost hear her frustration bubbling beneath the surface. Fans begged her to take a break, to log off, to just breathe. But Chrisean doesn't log off. She lives online. Her phone isn't just a device. It's her lifeline. Without it, there's no attention, no validation, no audience. So instead of disappearing, she stayed right there, arguing, clapping back, and unknowingly digging her own digital grave. The memes hit next, and oh, they were savage. One showed Baby Jr. sitting alone with a caption, "Waiting for mommy to stop arguing with trolls." Another had Blueface photoshopped, holding a #FreeBabyGR sign. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everyone had jokes. But beneath the laughter, you could feel the collective unease. Even people who used to find her antics entertaining started saying, "This isn't funny anymore." The point where every celebrity influencer dreads being when your brand crosses from chaotic fun to disturbing spectacle. And this wasn't just some quick Arshasith-hour scandal. The story had legs. News outlets started calling it the live stream that broke the internet. Analysts compared it to the downfall of other social media stars who lost everything after one viral mistake. YouTubers like Tasha K, Armand Wiggins, and Gossip of the City couldn't post fast enough. Titles like "The Moment Fans Gave Up on Chrisean" and "This Is Why CPS Might Step In" were everywhere. Each commentary video was pulling in millions of views because this wasn't just tea. It was tragedy in real time. One clip that went especially viral was from a podcast host who said, "We turned Chrisean into a character instead of a person. Now we're watching the consequences in HD." That one quote hit harder than expected. Even her defenders went quiet for a moment, because maybe that was the real truth. Chrisean didn't just become famous for her music or personality. She became famous for her meltdowns, and the internet kept feeding it. Every fight, every tear, every messy moment turned into content. But now that same content machine was eating her alive. Meanwhile, Baby Junior became the unwilling symbol of social media gone too far. Parenting blogs started writing think pieces titled, "When Clout Comes Before Kids." Mainstream outlets like TMZ and The Shade Room posted updates daily, keeping the scandal alive. The public couldn't look away, not because they loved it, but because it was too uncomfortable not to watch. And you know what's crazy? Every new post Chrisean made, whether it was a selfie, a song snippet, or a prayer, only reignited the backlash. The comment sections became war zones. Fans begged her to grow up, while haters called her a disaster waiting to happen. It got so bad that even people who used to profit off her name, managers, show producers, and event organizers, started distancing themselves. Rumors swirled that a TV project she'd been offered got quietly paused. Sponsors pulled out. PR teams ghosted her. Nobody wanted to risk being associated with her spiral. But if you think Chrisean took that as a sign to reflect or regroup, think again. She did what Chrisean always does, turned pain into performance. She dropped a freestyle the same week with bars like, "They hate my shine but can't dim my flame. I'm raising kings while they raising shame." Fans were torn. Was this defiance or delusion? Either way, the song went viral. Because that's the Chrisean paradox. The worse the scandal, the higher her numbers go. It's almost like controversy is her currency and she's never running out. Still, something felt different this time. The laughs weren't as loud. The memes hit harder. The jokes had guilt in them. Because everyone realized this wasn't the usual Chrisean drama. This was about a baby. A real one. A tiny human caught in the tornado of his mother's fame. And that's when the narrative shifted completely. People stopped clowning and started caring, but in a way that hurt her more. They weren't saying cancel her anymore. They were saying help her. And in the world of fame, help her is the new death sentence. Because once people start pitying you instead of praising you, your power's gone. Chrisean had become the internet's latest morality play. A living reminder of what happens when fame outruns growth, when motherhood meets madness, and when being real turns into being reckless. But even with the entire internet against her, one thing about Chrisean Rock, she refuses to break. She thrives in the eye of the storm. The only question is, what happens when the storm is her own reflection? By week 2, the internet wasn't just dragging Chrisean Rock, it was dissecting her like a social experiment. Think pieces were flooding in from every direction. Psychology TikTok had entered the chat, diagnosing her from their couches. This is a classic case of trauma projection. One creator said, "She's addicted to the chaos because peace feels unfamiliar." Another claimed Chrisean doesn't need fame. She needs therapy and probably a nanny. The drama had mutated into something bigger than gossip. It became a cultural case study. What happens when social media raises a celebrity instead of real people? Because let's be honest, Chrisean Rock didn't climb to fame, she exploded into it. One moment she was a viral personality on Blueface's show. The next, she was the face of modern internet dysfunction. But this live stream scandal felt different. It didn't just expose her flaws, it exposed ours. The public built her up as real because we were tired of fake influencers. We said we wanted authenticity, until we saw what real dysfunction actually looked like. Meanwhile, Chrisean kept posting through the storm. One day she was crying, the next she was laughing, then the next she was defending herself again. She uploaded a video saying, "Y'all always got something to say. I love my son. I ain't perfect, but I'm doing my best." It was emotional, raw, even believable for a moment. Until she immediately followed it up with a post shading her haters. It's like she couldn't stop pouring gasoline. On her own fire, the comments didn't hold back. "We're not your haters, we're your wake-up call. Stop proving the internet right. Girl, log out before you lose everything." But Chrisean's defiance has always been her trademark. She's the kind of person who treats backlash like background noise. The more people criticize her, the louder she gets. And this time was no different. She started posting pictures with captions like, "God got me. The rest of y'all got opinions." But behind the bold quotes and fake confidence, the damage was undeniable. Brands stopped calling. Podcasts stopped inviting her. Collaborators went quiet. Even Blueface, who's made a career out of feeding off their mutual chaos, was suspiciously silent. For once, he didn't want the smoke. And that's when it hit fans. Chrisean wasn't controversial anymore. She was radioactive. Once upon a time, her chaos made her money. Now, it was costing her everything. Meanwhile, clips from the infamous live stream were still being reposted daily. Some edited them into eerie montages with sad music and captions, like, "From viral fame to public shame." One particularly viral video showed a split screen on one side. Chrisean in her early days smiling, laughing, full of potential. On the other, the recent live, frantic, distracted, detached. The caption read, "The internet didn't ruin her. It just watched." And that, right there, was the truth nobody wanted to admit. The audience wasn't innocent. For years, they rewarded every meltdown, every fight, every tear with likes, retweets, and views. They turned Chrisean's pain into primetime entertainment. So when she spiraled again, it was the audience's monster eating its own maker. Still, in classic Chrisean fashion, she refused to fade quietly. Days after the worst backlash, she dropped a new single, a raw, emotional track called "Still Here," the cover art. A photo of her holding baby Junior, the lyrics, "They judging my life but ain't living right." It was both a plea and a middle finger wrapped in auto-tune. And you know what? The song blew up, not because people loved it, but because they couldn't stop talking about it. Critics called it manipulative. Fans said it was her redemption anthem. Haters called it damage control with a beat. But whatever it was, it worked. The controversy gave her the spotlight again. You'd think she'd take that as a chance to rebuild. But no. She doubled down, going live again to thank her supporters while also calling out her critics. "Y'all talk about me like I ain't human. But I'm still standing and my baby's still loved." It was the perfect cocktail of victimhood and bravado, the kind that keeps her name trending and her image spinning. And that's when commentators realized Chrisean doesn't just survive chaos. She feeds on it. Every scandal, every backlash, every tear-stained livestream becomes another chapter in her ongoing saga. She's built a brand not on music, not on image, but on meltdowns. Still, the tone online had shifted. What used to be "Go Chrisean" energy had turned into "Girl, get help." It wasn't admiration anymore. It was exhaustion. People weren't laughing, they were cringing. They didn't want her downfall. They just wanted her offline. Even her closest circle started showing cracks. Friends unfollowed her. Former collaborators posted vague tweets like, "Sometimes love ain't enough when peace ain't present." Everyone could sense it. She was isolating herself, drowning in the noise of her own creation. And yet, the tragic irony? She's still winning the algorithm. Every tear, every rant. Every controversial clip was feeding the very system she claimed was destroying her. Each moment of backlash only made her name trend higher. It's like watching a wildfire that keeps growing because the wind refuses to stop blowing. Now, whispers are spreading that major networks are working on documentaries. Titles like The Chrisean Rock Effect or When Clout Becomes a Curse. Because this story isn't just about a mother and a baby. It's about fame in the age of surveillance, when every private moment is public property and every bad decision becomes a viral highlight reel. And Chrisean Rock. She's both the villain and the victim of that system. You can't deny her influence. She turned dysfunction into a digital empire. But at what cost? Baby Junior, the innocent face in this entire circus, has become the world's most unwilling celebrity. His mother's fame is his burden now. It's a permanent internet footprint before he can even walk. And the internet. The same crowd that once screamed "Protect Chrisean" is now chanting "Protect Baby Junior." It's poetic, tragic, and ironic all at once by the end of this saga. One thing became painfully clear. Fame without growth is a ticking time bomb. You can't build a future on chaos and expect peace to bloom. Chrisean Rock may have built her empire on drama, but she's standing on quicksand, and every live stream, every argument, every clapback just drags her deeper. The fans don't hate her. They're just done watching the same movie with the same ending. Because at some point, even the internet's biggest spectacle stops being entertaining and starts being a warning. And for Chrisean Rock, that warning might have come one live stream too late. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the tragic circus that is Chrisean Rock versus the internet. One live stream, one lapse in judgment, and boom, the world flipped on her faster than Blueface switches excuses. What started as a casual moment online spiraled into a full-blown internet intervention, exposing the dark side of clout parenting in 4K. But now I want to hear from you. Was this just another overhyped social media outrage? Or did Chrisean finally cross the one line no celebrity mom can come back from? Did the fans overreact, or did they finally wake up? Drop your thoughts below, because this debate has the whole internet fighting harder than a Zeus reunion special. Before you scroll off to the next scandal, hit that like button like it just left its baby unattended. Smash subscribe like you're tired of fake influencers pretending everything's fine. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, because here at Secret Scoop, we don't just report the mess, we dive in headfirst, wipe off the drama, and serve it back with sarcasm and a side of tea. From courtroom chaos to celebrity breakdowns. From who said what to who shouldn't have gone live. This is your #1 source for the stories Hollywood wishes would disappear. Stay locked in. Because in the world of fame, truth, and internet outrage, today's scandal is tomorrow's sequel. This is Secret Scoop, where reality burns brighter than fiction. Every secret leaks, eventually, and every live stream has consequences. Until next time, stay curious, stay messy, and keep that Wi-Fi charged, because the next meltdown, it's probably already buffering.